Well, I think this time the great thing that we have is that we're building on something. When everybody started last year, I mean, we were all new. The difference this time is that, we've had that season behind us now. We know all the players, the staff all know each other, etc. And so we'll start off by a lot of detailed planning. It's already started. For example, Robin Fraser has already spent a week with Everton on our behalf, studying their methods. Mike and myself are going to go to London. We'll spend the whole week there. We're going to visit Tottenham Hotspur. We're going to have a couple of days with Arsenal. We're going to go to Chelsea. And we're going to watch the training methods there. So all of that will be part of, for us, of the build-up, of preparing ourselves. Well, most people here will know better than I do how it all works with the salary cap and so on. And it is complicated, there's no doubt. I mean, you build a squad and you want to add to that squad. And in order to bring people in, some people have actually got to move out. It's just the way it works. You can't just add on and add on and add on. You're not allowed to do that. So this has meant that here, sadly, we've had to move one or two people out in order to open up space and hopefully then bring some others in. So we're trying to maintain as much of last season's squad as we possibly can, and we're trying then to add one or two other dimensions. It must be fairly obvious by some of the moves we've already made that we're trying to strengthen us at the back. We've got a fairly substantial group of players in the middle of the pitch, from high quality in there, as you know. And with the loss of Fabienne, then we'll probably need to add somebody else in the front area. But then again, all of this is theory. This will all depend on who's available, what kind of funds we've got to spend in the cap. It will depend on a number of factors. But we're looking and we've been searching. We've been doing it for nearly all season. And so this is not just something we're suddenly doing. There's certainly some good players in our academy at the moment, and I'm talking to some of those players and their parents about their plans. In fact, the minute this interview's over, I'm doing that with one of our under-18 players and his parents. Clearly it would be great for us, because if you can bring players through your own ranks, they're the heart and soul of your team. So we want to try to do that as much as possible. We'll also look, of course, at the college draft coming up. I've had people watching college games. We'll go to the combine, we'll go to the draft, and we'll look at that as well. But we still nevertheless have to look at all avenues, whether it's players coming out of the academy, whether it's college kids, whether it's people that we try to acquire from the US, set up from the MLS league, or whether we look to someone from Europe. But we're looking everywhere and anywhere within the constraints that we work in. Well, I don't know if there's a Thierry Henry, because he's rather special. I mean, artists of his quality don't appear too often. He's somebody that is just a different class, if you like, from many of the players in the MLS. And to show that he's still got the enthusiasm to do it, when we sat down at the end of the season and I just asked him straight out, "So TT, what is the situation with you? Are you happy to continue playing here next season, continue with your contract?" And he immediately, one word, he just went, "Yes." And he said, "I'm very enthusiastic about here. I see light. I see, I'm optimistic. I see possibilities here." And so he's enthusiastic about it. So that's enough for me. He's got the quality, he's still got the enthusiasm, and he's still got a burst of pace when he needs it. In terms of the schedule, well, the schedule is what it is, It's not balanced and regular the way we would love it to be. It's the same for everybody, you just have to cope with it. And then even there, the regular season has this chance element, whether you play LA here or you play them there, whether you play Salt Lake here or you play them there, and so on. So at least this time, places like Portland, they'll have to come to us, Jeeves will come to us, and so on. So yeah, you win some, you lose some here in terms of the way the scheduling is there. But there's no point in us troubling ourselves about it. I always think in this business, you concern yourselves with the thing you can control. You can't control luck, but what you can do is influence it. You can influence it by being well organised and playing as efficiently and as well as you can play, and being as exciting as you can be. And that way you might influence, you can influence the chance element, but there'll always be that chance element. And it's the same thing with the league. We can't influence the organisation of it. We just simply adapt. And we have a favourite phrase here, which is adapt or die. We'd rather adapt.